Yeah. So, 11 hours until this has to go up, and we are just recording this video, so things are not looking good. All right. um, so since Tortured Poets Department drops in a little over a week as of writing this, and a day before this video should come out, I guess now would be a better time than ever to talk about this. Oh, and after last week's video, I need something light to keep me sane. That doesn't really make much sense in hindsight because that video has not come out yet. But that's Soviets' fault. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, I used to hate Taylor Swift. Even now, I'll acknowledge that her music is objectively trashy. Nevertheless, there's undeniably something charming about her songs, and every night, whilst writing, she's my go-to pick. Funny enough, I really don't even enjoy music. I've started to see the light ever since that one fateful night. Clever rhyme, right? But almost all my life, I've hated it. It's always seemed like a nuisance, a distraction from thinking, and even now, this still partially holds true. Let me preface this by very openly stating that I'm not a music critic, nor do I pretend to be one, and this is just the ramblings of a Swiftie. So, you may be wondering how I went from a firm hater to getting her album as a birthday gift. I'm wondering that too. I guess if we want to go chronologically, it all started with Sebastian. He was a firm, dedicated Swiftie, and I really just couldn't see the appeal. Before I could roast him, however, I had to hear it for myself. After all, you can't knock it till you try it. This eventually led to me spending a night alone listening to her latest album at the time, 1989, Taylor's version. As I was in a Discord call to avoid ads on Spotify, my friends eventually checked up on me, and as one thing led to another, we all ended up spending 2 consecutive nights listening and judging the album. If I were to pinpoint the exact moment Stanley turned into not a Swiftie, it would be that night, and specifically Blank Space. Ever since the Soviets started introducing me to more music, in an attempt to limit the time spent on Swift partially, it's ironically just drawn me to her more. At some point, every night just consisted of her music and writing. That long of a story, just to say, I really don't know how this happened. Eventually, I got falsely accused of being a Swiftie, and after some fervent denial, it earned me the moniker Not a Swiftie. Now, to address the title, one could say the elephant in the room. Yes, I do believe Taylor Swift is objectively trashy. This is, again, coming from someone that thinks she can say no wrong. So, why? Well, when talking about her writing, even I'll tell you it's a mess. Her age, an undeniable fact, is a major talking point, and frankly, it looks pretty bad. I'm all for creative expression. Hell, I write like a dyslexic fifth grader. But after 12 boyfriends in something like 12 years, a new breakup song really does start to look bad. For a high schooler, that'd be like rookie numbers. But she's in her 30s, and at this point, people can't even keep up with her dating life. Hey, I'm not discounting her emotions, and if this offends you, I've never ever had a relationship. So, what am I even saying? From an outsider's perspective, though, it really does look like she's stuck in high school. This isn't as rare as a sentiment as you might think. Ben Shapiro and his daughter both share this opinion. Shocker. And regardless of their political bone to pick, it holds some truth. Even when being generous, a lot of her songs are juvenile at best, and when she tried to expand, as seen by the wave of feminist songs, it failed so badly. We'll get to that though. Besides that, there are a million things I can nitpick. One of her most popular songs, Love Story, is a horrid bastardization of the tragedy. Why? By having her Romeo and Juliet get together, it defeats the whole point of the story. The play's whole claim to fame is the fact that the two are divided by a pointless petty feud, and by giving the story a happy ending, it reduces the tragedy to a generic, shitty romance. Sure, you could make the argument that she only uses the names, but just that is enough to really start the song. I still love it though, so screw all that. There's also Me, and an absolute shit show of a song, and from a writer's perspective, it's a mess. She somehow manages to make Brendan Urie look bad, and the theme of the song is a joke. Let's be real, it's nothing more than a feel-good song, and honestly, that's enough. Still not my cup of tea, but it's better than pretending it's something more. By saying it's a song about embracing your individuality and celebrating it, she completely makes a joke of herself. And realistically, who the fuck would have figured that out? Sure, the title is me, but literally nothing else contributes anything to that. Also, let's not forget, she says, and I genuinely don't even know what to say to that. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but the song's really ass. Alright, so let's take a quick look at the Genius. So we've already gone over this. It's really not that deep. And so yeah, I mean, let's just go through this. I know I never think before I jump. Like, I mean, yeah, but like at the same time, like, like 190 contributors is crazy, right? Because this song is really not that deep. Um, and half of these are just references to old stuff that she did. So like, okay, this is actually kind of cool. Miss America, yeah, okay. I mean, they're all references, right? And I think that's the whole point of the song. It's supposed to be like a fun thing. She has references to herself, her old songs. This is a cool shot. This is not that deep, but it's a lot of references, and I think taken as anything other than that, like trying to make it something like it's way deeper than this. It's really not. Right. It's talking about Sesame Street, some old songs, really old songs. And what is this? Okay. Yeah. Jesus Christ, she's young. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, I think this is evident enough, right? It's really not that deep. I don't know where she gets this from. It's fun. It's supposed to be a fun song, and I mean at the end of the day, it's really just that. All right. Where do I start? Well, to put simply, her music sounds good. I can't believe that sentence came out of my pen, nevertheless my mouth, but it's the brutal reality. Her sounds produce the happy chemicals in my brain, and with the stress I burn in, it helps with writing a lot. It also partly is a contrarian thing, despite Wombat, so there's that. If you want a close analysis, here we go. I know it's really negative in the beginning, and there's a lot to hate, but as the title suggests, she's subjectively great. Her music is undeniably catchy, even the harshest critics can agree that Blank Space is good, and frankly, generic pop is great. On the surface, even to the low bros, the songs are a vibe, and if you look a little deeper, she actually does have something to say. There's not many layers to that, but what's there is fun. Well, there's a reason Cruel Summer is in every Walmart, and something like Stan isn't. We're gonna completely ignore that Stan is like 15 years old. Her music is really meant to appeal to the lowest common denominator, which is fine, and everyone can understand it. There's some merit to that, and the reality is not everyone will care about perfect writing. If we're being real here, while objectively Stan is better, it just requires too much thinking. As art, that song far outweighs anything Taylor Swift will ever make. So why do I come back to her every single night? Just like an abusive relationship, there's sometimes no method to the madness. The sweet moments are mesmerizing, so much in fact, that honestly I'm willing to put up with the abuse. That's a ridiculously insensitive analogy to use, but it's fitting in a sense. So yeah, let's keep in mind it's 2 a.m. and I am very stupid. To put it simply, Taylor Swift is the ice cream of the music world. Her songs are always there, and after everything, they're still just as sweet. If you want to go into examples, let's. Actually, I'm so tired, so let's not. Off the top of my head, here are some of the best songs: Blank Space, Love Story, You Need to Calm Down, The Man, and How Could I Forget? There's a million more, but we'll stop there. To me, music's nothing more than something to fill dead space with. For that, Swift's happy, melodramatic songs are perfect. I'm not a white girl, nor am I trying to sleep with one, not from the Midwest, and not even remotely qualified to critique music. So why? Well, it's a simple answer. She's a damn good singer. It feels weird defending her. After all, she's by no means a small artist. But like I said in the beginning, these are just the ramblings of a Swiftie. There's a lot more to be said, but I'm trying to meet an extremely tight schedule. So if you want more, subscribe. I'll probably do a first impressions of Tortured Poets Department, I've managed to avoid any song in that album, so yeah. And next week that'll happen. So yeah. Going forward, I plan to review a Swift album every week or two, regardless of views. So pray for me. That's pretty much it for this week. So do the regular YouTube stuff and have a great day. This has been Swoyu Taylor's version, and I am tired. I'm probably gonna go back to sleep.